Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Narrative Podcast. The Narrative Podcast is the home of original people peace, reciprocity, and positive frames of reference. And I am your host, your brother, Halsey Allen. Welcome, family. Welcome, my narrators. This is a live edition of the Narrative Podcast, by the way. So I just hope everybody's doing well this evening. All my narrators, they already know the demonstration. They already know what my platform is about, the type of content I'll be providing you with this evening. But for everybody else unfamiliar with me or my platform, I give you a brief synopsis, just a quick little overview before diving into the content to bring you up to speed if you're unfamiliar with me or my podcast. So let's dive right on into it, starting at the very top. Tippy, the name, the Narrative Podcast. Basically, I named it that because I don't like the false narrative that the media portrays about original people and original culture. I get to the original part a little later in the synopsis. So I decided to do something about it. I wanted to create a platform to uplift and edify my people instead of, to counteract the negative lens that the media focuses, on about our people and our culture. So the goal for the Narrative Podcast is basically to uplift and edify our people by always putting us in a positive frame of light, playing up our strengths and proving and dispelling all these negative stereotypes and stigmas that the media places over our people and our culture. As a matter of fact, I think that's the perfect segue for my tagline for this podcast, the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. How do I destroy the negative stereotypes? I provide positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. Because like I said, the media goes out of their way to depict us in a negative light. People outside of our culture, they only know of us through the frames of reference that they are given. And all the frames of reference about our people and our culture are negative. Not only do people outside of our culture need positive frames of reference about our people and our culture, our people need positive frames of reference about, our people and our culture, because it's a form of, psychological programming that, the media participates in, because we accept certain things and view ourselves a certain way and normalize these negative stereotypes and stigmas that they place over us, by accepting it on a subconscious level and creating a belief system like we believe we're supposed to be portrayed this way. We believe, that's our experience as a people. So, this podcast isn't about caring about what people outside of our people and our culture think about us. It's definitely not about seeking validation from people outside of our culture. This is basically, if you're going to tell our story right, or if you're going to tell our story correctly. And that's basically all I'm doing on this platform, is setting the tone to, tell our story the right way, tell it from the perspective of kings and queens, gods and goddesses, of the universe. Tell that part. Don't always just, have us downtrodden, disenfranchised, ignorant, and violent. So yeah, that's the ultimate takeaway. I want my listeners to understand, and fully comprehend the importance of sharing positive content on your platforms about our people and our culture. Because as I said just a second ago, the media's job is to portray us in a negative light, people outside of our culture. That's all the frames of reference they're giving about us is negative frames of reference. So just imagine how we look as a people, feeding into these negative stereotypes and stigmas placed over us by, regurgitating it online. So, we're feeding into it, we're reposting it. Like, you're a grown man, you're a grown woman, you can do, whatever you want to, post whatever you like on your platform. But we're living in a digital age of information. I believe some people might call this the dawn of Aquarius. But for whatever reason, like, people associate you as a person by what type of content that you're posting online. Your value systems, your belief systems, your hobbies, your interests. That whatever you post online says a lot about you, or, so people tend to think these days, the way we socially network online these days. And so that's what I'm basically doing, trying to bring awareness to people about the importance of posting positive content online. Try to encourage all my listeners to do the same, do what I'm doing. This is why I call my target audience my narrators. Because like I said, we're living in the digital age. We have the power to change this false narrative by telling or narrating our stories accurately online. So we should be, when we're posting stuff online, we should be like doing what I'm doing here on this audio space, giving you examples of leadership, sense of community, family structure, entrepreneurialism, excellence within our community, growth, perseverance, triumphing in the face of adversity, just being beautiful and a dutiful people. This is the type of imagery that we should be sharing on all our platforms. So that's my ultimate takeaway. I want my listeners to get from my platform, if nothing else, of why it's so important to share positive content about our people and our culture. Because as I said, it's the media's job to do that. Not only do they do it to make money, to generate income, they also do it to promote and generate propaganda about our people. Because, they want us to, they want to portray us a certain light to a certain demographic. So this helps the powers that be, the higher echelon, maintain their, socioeconomic status in the world over everybody else, making them the front of the bread line, and by placing everybody else beneath them. And so this is why they want to warp and skew the narrative, to have them, change history, make them the heroes, and vilify everybody else, make them seem like they're advancing civilization and they're doing all these wonderful things, and everybody else is degenerate beneath them. They do it to everybody, but they especially love doing it to our people because, you know, they know their history, they know our history. And so that's why they want to have us feeling like we're less than by constantly bombarding us with negativity, because they don't want us feeling good about ourselves. They don't want us to empower ourselves. They don't want us to network with each other. That's their biggest fear, because if they, you know, because if we ever stop fighting each other, bickering about petty differences and, you know, all this stuff that we're doing to each other, if we just stop and networked and work together, you know, this whole game, the way this system is constructed, especially here in America, it would careen and collapse over on itself. Because, you know, that's their biggest fear about us cracking the code about how it works. Because they know the whole rest of the world follows our lead. And so once we get our communities right together, then the whole rest of America will follow suit. And, you know, all this stupid stuff that we're doing, like just unnecessary taxes, be paying taxes to be paying taxes, all this garbage they're putting in our food and air and water, all this taxation, all that to come to an end when we get our neighborhoods in order and become fully, you know, independent. Because everybody, whether they, you know, online call ourselves the N-word, call our people the N-word, hard R, say they hate us, they can't live without us. They look to us for inspiration, for sports and entertainment. We're leading the charge on education, whether it's reported or not. We've done nothing but, you know, enhance civilization. As a matter of fact, we were the first people on the planet. And, you know, our entire existence has been nothing but teaching and nurturing other civilizations, teaching and nurturing, teaching everybody how to survive and live, not forcing our beliefs and value systems on people, not taking nothing by force, just only putting out knowledge and wisdom and understanding. We did that to everybody on the planet. Some more points before diving into the content. First of all, like I said, I refer to our people as, kind of went off on a tangent. I wanted to finish up about the media. So one more point before, you know, wrapping it up. You know, even though the media is evil and wicked and diabolical, it's a company, it's a business. And, you know, the way businesses work is they work on a principle of supply and demand. So this is why I encourage people to post positive content on all their platforms, because, you know, we're creating a need for these negative images. This is how business is done, especially here in this digital era that we live in. It's how all these Fortune 500 companies, all these media outlets collect their data to create content. You see where I'm going at? So when we're posting negative stuff online, when we're going back and forth at each other online, we're literally giving them the ammunition they need to assassinate our characters, to misappropriate our images and our likenesses. Because that's how they collect their information. That's how they collect their data. All through statistical research. You know, that's how they analyze and create content based around the need that they think that consumers, us, that we want. They think we want to be portrayed and seen like that based on, the types of stuff we're posting online, the types of things we're clicking on online. That's how they create all this crappy television shows, crappy movies, crappy docuseries, crappy books and magazines depicting us in a negative light, all on statistical research. And how we end game that is don't feed into it and, post positivity. So I'm not saying we have to all kumbaya and just love each other. Like, if you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody, but don't use your platform to tear down a brother or tear down a sister. Like, legit, if you don't have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say nothing at all. Just no comment. You can say no comment. All that. There's all kinds of, classy ways to dismiss somebody that you really don't care for that much. But don't, get on social media and drag somebody all through the mud. Because at the end of the day, we as a people pay a price for it. So some more little fine things. Key little points I want you to know about the Narrative Podcast before diving into this evening's content. First of all, I refer to our people as original people, as opposed to black. And another thing, I try to make my content time sensitive. So I refer to our people as original people because I think it's a more appropriate word to describe us as a people, because there are so many different types of us hailing from so many different land masses, identifying ourselves so differently. But the one unique thing that we have in common, we was all here first, no matter what language you speak, no matter what religion you follow, no matter what ideology you embrace. You're an original man and an original woman. So we was here first. And that's the tie that binds us, no matter what you identify yourself as. You're an original man and an original woman. And so, that's why we're trying to refer to our people as original people as often as possible, as opposed to black. I'm not going to give a whole big lecture, but I got a really intelligent, way of breaking that down. But because, first of all, black is not a country or nothing like that. But, that I also believe in the power of words. And essentially, black means dead. And so we're speaking something over ourselves every time we call ourselves black. And like I said, I'm not going to get too preachy, but just here on the Narrative Podcast, I try to refer to our people as black, or original people as often as possible, as opposed to calling us black. Now, if you want to call yourself, refer to yourself as black and say, I'm black and I'm beautiful, I'm black and I'm proud, and black, blackity, black, cool. No judgment, do whatever is comfortable, makes you comfortable. But, I just here on my platform, I refer to our people as original people. Also, I try to make my content time sensitive, because when I first started podcasting, I had no, clue about what direction I want to go in, what type of stuff I wanted to talk about. I started doing this right at the height of the pandemic, right when we was semi in quarantine. There's stuff was opening up, but we still had curfew and still had the mask mandate, but we had a projected time when things were going to start opening back up and all that. But like I said, when I first started my platform, I had no idea what I wanted to talk on, what type of subjects I wanted to talk on, and then it dawned on me I wanted to, uplift and edify my people. What's the most efficient way to do that? The most efficient way to do that is just keep it simple, keep it a buck. Say what you mean what you say, and be consistent with your message. And so the best way I could do that is just to keep it short and sweet, to the point, and I can engage, a lot of listeners, and I can cover a whole lot of subject matter in a brief amount of time, because I don't care how interesting of a life you have, how gifted and talented you are as a speaker. Nobody wants to listen to somebody just drone on for 2 and 3 hours straight. And now me, I'm an audio platform. I don't have any guests booked yet. So I definitely have to keep my listeners engaged and keep you guys from being bored to sleep. So, that's my way of trying to make this a fully engaging experience. And also, so I'm not talking in circles, going down rabbit holes, and just droning on and on and on about nothing. So now that you got the gist of how the Narrator podcast works, I'm going to dive in with the content. This is a live episode. I broadcast every weekend with full episodes. Here is the format for my live episodes. You can consult previously recorded episodes of the Narrator podcast to get a feel for my, podcast for a full episode. But this evening is a random live. I do these random lives when I have some free time during the weekday. And the purpose of me doing these lives is basically to promote positivity, put positivity in the atmosphere. Because like I said, we're constantly being bombarded with negativity about our people and our culture. And, that does something to you after a while. That have you feeling hopeless, or have you feeling like, there's no way out of this endless cycle, but, that's what my purpose here in this space is for, is to shine light, make you feel good about yourself, give you some positive frames of reference about positivity, about our brothers and sisters excelling and, breaking curses, and just being examples of what it means to be an original man or an original woman. And how do I do that? I provide positive frames of reference via news articles. So I'm subscribed to a lot of, original people news on a whole lot of different platforms. So every time I see something kind of fascinating or inspirational, I just do a screenshot, take some bulleted notes, and be like, I'm gonna share this story. Put out that positivity out in the atmosphere about what's going on, and uplift somebody that needs it. Because we always could use good news, and we never really, get positive news. It's always rumor mill, gossip. Like I said, they're always showing us our men getting carted off and hauled away to jail, or, some he say, she say, bickering back and forth. But the type of news I share on my platforms is to uplift and edify. One thing I forgot to mention, this is a gossip-free zone. I don't engage in gossip. I don't promote it. I don't endorse it. I think it has no place with our people, because I think that's actually destroying our people. But if you are, a hip hop journalist or an online persona, that's no shade against you about your profession, what you do, and what you're bringing to the table. But in that, I would just say, somewhere in your broadcast, have a segment to something positive, something uplifting through all the gossip and through all the chitter chatter. Like me myself personally, I can care less about somebody famous, what they're doing within the confines of their marriage, who they're dating, what their preferences are, what their orientation is. I don't care about none of that. Like, if you're an actor, I only care about you acting. If you're a recording artist, I only care about your songs. Not that I don't care about you as a person, like, of course, but I want to only hear about you doing something positive. I don't want to see you down bad in these streets. I don't want to hear about you down bad in these streets. Like, far as like being caught up in relationship problems or like getting hauled off to jail for some mess. Like, unless you was innocent, you know what I mean? Like rare, rare instances, where you're not the aggressor and like you're getting the raw deal. But other than that, I don't want to hear about nothing negative. So I don't try to promote anything negative. I'm trying to create the healthy habit amongst our people to put out positivity and to share it and build off of this positivity, off of that positive energy. Now I know it can't be all, rockets and sunshine all the time, but it don't got to be gloom and doom all the time either, though. I also deliver commentary, and just know if I ever bring up a celebrity's name or a famous person's name in my commentary, it's never coming from a judgmental space. It's really me trying to illustrate a point that I'm making, cement a point that I'm making. Because the perspective on my podcast that I always come from is, yes, we have our problems. Yes, we got some in-house issues we need to work on, but, this is why we do that. We've been programmed and conditioned by the powers to be to act and to react in these certain kind of conditions. X, Y, and Z bring this out of us, and that's why this is happening. It's never, from a finger pointing and they need to cut it. And I do tell the truth, though. I do tell the truth on my commentary. If, one of our brothers and sisters have a polarizing platform and they're doing or saying things that got us all as a people looking crazy, looking and sounding crazy, through them, then yeah, I do gotta call a spade in those types of scenarios. But, I don't try to drag nobody through the mud. I don't promote it. I don't condone it. And I don't try to convey that sentiment. But anyway, you got a gist of the format. I think I planned it as clear as I could possibly plan it. Now diving into the content this evening, live edition of the Narrative Podcast, going in. First article this evening, featured on the Narrative Podcast. The headline reads, "Meet the founder whose platform uses AI to support Black women mentally and emotionally." The sister's name is, I don't believe she's Nigerian, but us and them names. So if I mispronounce her name, my apologies. I'm gonna do my best. Nahima Smalls. The sister's name is Nahima Smalls. Nijima Smalls. How you living, Nahima Smalls? I'm surrounded by criminals. All right. So she's the founder and CEO of the Black Girl's Guide to Healing and Emotional The Black Girl's Guide to Healing Emotional Wounds. And what that is a platform that innovatively uses AI to coach, mental wellness and promote, mental health. And the AI unit's name is another name, Rashina. It's basically like, the equivalent to Siri. A bot, it's a chat bot with a sister's voice. And she uses it to appeal to an array of mutual and emotional resources. So she's using it as a safe place for sisters going through something. They need counseling. They need to reach out to somebody. They're on like the edge. Like, life ain't life for them. And another thing I say on my platform about our people, we are a traumatized people. And a lot of the trauma we sustain as a people is through the media being constantly bombarded with negativity. This is why I try to put out positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. Just 24/7, we never catch a break. And then when we do something good, it's like a super quick snippet editorial of local news. It's like about 8-9 seconds. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? And then back to the bull crap. But anyway, about this sister's invention. In addition to that, she also offers a support groups resources. So she basically tries to get people that use her services into, support, diagnoses them, assesses like what they're going through, and pairs them up with about like 4 or 5 other females going through the exact same thing they're going through, so they can like build a relationship and they can talk and get it off their chest, so they can support each other like that. Just having somebody to, talk to, because like, this is what I hate our culture, like religion. We use religion as a band-aid. Like we try to put all our faith on external forces. Like, you have to deal. I mean, technically, everything that we're going through isn't real anyway. I don't want to get too deep on y'all. We spirits having a human experience. But while we're in these flesh bags, the trauma we're experiencing is real. And we need somebody to talk to. Like, you can't just sit up there and just, you know what I mean? Like, it's levels to get the divine healing. If you're not at that level to receive divine healing, you need to consult specialists for whatever it is you're going through mentally, whatever it is you're going through physically. You need people, experts. You need to consult experts at some point in your life to improve your life than just, just thinking the answer is going to fall out of the sky. And that's a big, huge thing we have wrong in our community, because we don't believe in psychiatry. We don't believe in therapy, because we're taught to just pray and, the higher power, God, Jesus, Allah, whatever you call yourself believing in, will make it better. And I am I embrace a whole lot of ideology, but at the same time, while we here, we got the do something for ourselves too, and like, you know what you need and you know what you need to be working on. But, culturally, we've been taught to distrust it as well because, the powers that be has used psychiatry to break up our family structures, things that we supposed to be telling them in confidentiality. They weaponize it against us and then remove the children and send the man off to jail, and you know what I mean? So, but, the point I'm trying to make is at some point you need therapy if you're going through something mental. And this, if you're a sister, a woman, like this is a perfect outlet for y'all. I'm gonna be keeping my ears and eyes open for some therapy for brothers. If I come across some mental resources to share for us, because, it's doubly hard for us through just being a man. We're not allowed to express or convey our emotions. We're not allowed to, exhibit our vulnerability. We have to keep it all clenched inside. And yeah. But that's some good help resources for sisters that need it. If you would like to know more about our program, you can hit her up at nahimasmalls.com. So join me into giving our sister Nahima a warm narrative podcast round of applause for her invention, The Black Girl's Guide to Healing and Healing Emotional Wounds. I don't know why I wanted to keep on putting the "and" in there. All right, keeping it rocking. Next article on the Narrative Podcast, the headline reads, Dr. Lynn O'Connor makes history as NYPD's first black police surgeon. And so, that's basically I guess, what do you call them people? Forensics? I watch a lot of TV. I used to watch the little throwback TV with my grandparents. Anybody remember a show called Quincy? I used to want to do forensics because I used to watch Quincy with my grandparents. But anyway, this sister living out her dream. She's a native New Yorker, NY. She's currently completing her undergraduate degree at Rutgers University. She went to attend a master's degree in public health from Yale and her medical degree from Temple University. And that's really all I had. That's really all the article said about that sister. It didn't say, because I try to share the journey, but sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes these articles just be brief, like this one is, but usually I try to share her hobbies and interests, what was she doing, how did she get on the path to want to do that. But it's still a fascinating field to be in, because we need as many people of our people on the inside of this thing until we get our own thing, because there's a whole lot of corruption and a whole lot of hiding and destroying critical evidence that can mean somebody's freedom. But nevertheless, join me into giving a warm narrative podcast round of applause for our sister Lynn O'Connor. Kind of light tonight. I just got two more, and then we're going to dive into the commentary this evening. I only got really one thing to talk about, and it's kind of a remixed topic, but, I feel we got to address it. We got to address the elephant in the room. So, again, when I cover my commentary, just keep in mind I'm not picking on anybody. I'm not gossiping. I'm not placing blame. I'm framing it up. I'm putting it in perspective. So, next article, the headline reads, Atlanta man who cuts lawns for the elderly and disabled honored by the city for committed service. And the brother's name is Jarvis Drake of Buckhead, Atlanta. I'm a buckhead. I'll take your cookies. But he said he just always wanted to make a change, but wasn't quite sure how. Article always goes on to say, I'm just paraphrasing what he said, and it's not a direct quote. He said, you don't have to, people think to make a change in the world that you have to be like a millionaire. You can just do whatever you're good or talented with to enhance somebody's life. And I agree wholeheartedly because, we all have special talents and skills to use to bring balance in the world, to make somebody's day, to right something that's not right. And I think especially within our community, that is our superpower. Because we got to get back to the days where we could correct our children, because that's a big part of our youth. We can't say nothing to the youth anymore. When we see them doing something foul that could potentially end their lives, or, see them going down the path of wrong, and we can't say nothing to them because the parent will come, don't say nothing to my kid. If you want to say something, you say something to me. You don't talk to my kids, and da-da-da-da. And we got to get back to tribe mentality, because before segregation, our people moved with decorum. We took care of each other. We still had our in-house issues. We still had the criminal element, but we was dignified. We walked with dignity. We embraced each other as brother and sister. So we still had poverty. We still had classism, We still had people looking down at each other. We had just normal problems everybody else had. But, there was more of a community involvement. It was highly unlikely in the 60s and the 70s. The neighborhood was not going to let you just not be a man and take care of your responsibility. Not going to just let you carry and conduct yourselves as a piece of crap, not trying to do nothing with yourself. But anyway, as far as that story goes, the brother, I totally agree with him. I concur with that. You don't have to, have $1 million to make a difference. There's all kinds of ways to champion causes. You can circulate petitions. You could write your senator, write your congressman for things that's not right in your community. You could just start as simple as just a pail and some soap and some elbow grease, and removing graffiti, picking up cigarette butts in your neighborhood, planting a community garden, beautifying our neighborhoods. But the journey in that is taking the first step. So you got to find your niche, something you're good at, and how can our people as a whole benefit from it? And then you're on your way. But this brother just took it upon himself because he knows older people can't, clean their lawn or do their, keep up, manicure their lawns. Disabled people can't do it. They own their houses in Atlanta. That's, Atlanta, Georgia, that's the mecca of our people as far as ownership goes. So like a good 60-70% of the homes in Atlanta are owned. They ain't renting. And you want to keep up, that's another thing about our people, that king and queen, that God energy. We like keeping ourselves up. And so if we own some property, we want to keep the property up. We want to keep the lawn manicured. We want to keep the walkway free from damage and debris. We don't want no cracks in our sidewalk going up the path to our house. You know what I mean? We want everything nice and neat looking. And it makes you feel good. Just like it makes you feel good to, keep yourself well groomed. If you're a man, your hair cut, face manicured, or if you got a braid style, tight braid style, or if you're a sister, you know what I'm saying? Got your face did, got your hair and nails done. And then if you're a homeowner, it makes you feel great to, people look at your house in a good way, be like, oh, that's a nice lawn. Nice, healthy lawn. It's nice and manicured. But anyway, join me into giving this brother his flowers. Warm Narrative podcast round of applause to our brother Jarvis Drake for his contributions to his neighborhood in Bankhead. All right, this is the last article I have for this evening on the Narrator podcast. Headline reads, after being jailed 3 times, he became the youngest judge in Pennsylvania, age 27. And the brother's name is Hanif Johnson, Hanif Johnson, and I apologize if I'm saying it if I'm mispronouncing it. So his road seems very similar to a TV judge that I watch on television. His story seems very similar to that of the Honorable Judge Greg Mathis. His story is very similar. He had a troubled youth. He was constantly being, accosted by police. Some of it was warranted. Some of it wasn't. He had more warranted run-ins with the police than unwarranted run-ins with the police. The article didn't really say how much and all that. It just basically said, he was a troubled youth. He changed his life around. The article also didn't say where he went to go get his schooling and at what point of his life did he wanted to, fight injustice from the inside. But what it did say is he is now a role model. He visits schools, community centers for the youth, trying to start after school programs and mentor the youth. So he uses past negative experiences to, as a form of a deterrent. Like, don't go down that road. I changed my life around. It seems bad right now, but you can do it. And so at only 27 years old, he's a judge. But fun fact, you don't have to be 8 or 9 years as a lawyer to become a judge. You can just after you take your bar, you can just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if nobody knew that. But we definitely need more of our people on the inside, because we already know that the system was not designed for us. It wasn't designed to accommodate us. They don't want us to win. So we need as many judges and lawyers as possible to make this thing fair, because let's be real, the penal system was initially designed to house our people. The Jim Crow laws, right when they abolished so-called, I'm doing air quotes, slavery, they took and made laws about being poor. And who was the poor? Us, after slavery. We couldn't, have any way to financially sustain ourselves, and then they want to throw us in the penitentiary to get some more free labor out of us, after they had centuries of free labor out of us. But I digress. We need more people in that field: judges, lawyers, attorneys, paralegals, the whole nine. And so that's his story. You can do your Googles on the brother if you want to know more of his story, because I couldn't find anything. If you find something, let me know. But put your hands together for brother Hanif Johnson, Judge Hanif, Honorable Judge Hanif Johnson. All right, that'll do it for all the stories. That's all the stories I had this week to share with you all on the Narrative Podcast. So I only really got one topic to address, something that's been trending online. Well, a couple, but I'm gonna just loop it all as one, because it's 2 or 3 people been trending, but it's kind of concentrated around one point, one big giant point. And well, I'm gonna just dive on into it. So, and again, keep in mind, I don't promote gossip. I'm not gossiping. I'm not picking on nobody. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it a bean. So basically what's going on is our brother, Mr. West, Kanye, whatever he likes to be called himself nowadays, used his platform to call Cardi B an industry plant for her brand of hip hop. But weeks before that, our sister Kylie Red, I believe, what is her name? Kylie Red. She was kind of trending for the, she had something where she was a product she was promoting with really disgusting names. I'm trying to punch up the sister's name. I ain't dissing. It's just everybody got a style, and brand of hip hop they follow, and it's just not my cup of tea. It's not knock or a diss. I'm unfamiliar with a whole lot of these, new female artists. So I'm not dissing. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm trying to find the sister's name so you know who exactly what I'm talking about. Come on. What is her name? I'm trying to find her. Yeah, Carly Red. Been in the newspaper. Sukiana, Ice Spice, sisters like that. Who else? When is she ever not news? What is the sister's name? I'm trying to think of the other sister. I don't want to sound like I'm picking on her, but I just can't think of her name. Lizzo. Yeah, I don't know why her name was escaping me, but so basically, Ice Spice, Lizzo, Kylie Red, of course Cardi B, Sal T, all these newer rappers, Cardi B and Nicki. They're all kind of getting lumped into this category. And the category is being over the top explicit with their lyrics, over the top explicit with their outfits. So, over the top explicit with their outfits, meaning damn near nude. Just literally a piece of cloth separating their nudity from just being full on butt naked. And again, not picking on nobody, not trying to stand on a moral high ground, not trying to come across sounding like I'm on high and I'm perfect and I got all the answers, but this is a problem. This is a problem within our community, and it's a problem that we can't necessarily blame exclusively on the female artists, because this is a slow build-up. It's like a snowball effect. We watched the snowball being formed. We had opportunities after opportunities to destroy the snowball before it got so big it kind of destroyed, caused an avalanche. Because it's like an avalanche of amoral behavior on the internet. It's like an avalanche of promiscuity. It's an avalanche of ratchetness, loose morals, toxicity. degeneracy. It's just like a whole lot of filth and nastiness. And we've been watching the slow buildup of it over years and have said nothing about it because we got this little thing in hip hop where if you have the opposing view, if you're not going with the crowd, just going along, get along, you're a hater. Oh, you just a hater. You just a hater. Nah, this is kind of all our problems. Because we all got little cousins. We all got daughters. We all got nieces. We all, got the little girl next door. And the image that's being put out is, toot it up, open it up. We got this little open sesame image floating around about our sisters. And again, I'm not picking on nobody, but, it's time for everybody to get involved, get your hands dirty and express yourself. I think artists, they don't like getting involved in saying, well, who am I to say something? You're an artist. That's who you are, is to say something. Because in the hip hop culture, it takes all of us as a people to make this thing work. It takes the artists, it takes the fans, whether you're an actual dedicated fan of the craft, the art form, or a hobbyist, or even an enthusiast, hobbyist, whatever level, you are as a participant in the art form. It requires you. We're at the stage that it requires your voice to say something to stop this rampant degeneracy within the culture. Because it has no place. And deliver it articulately and respectfully that the people involved in it can take it with a grain of salt. Because to correct the problem, you got to come correct. You can't just flip over some tables and expect people to listen to you. And this divide we have between the older generation and the younger generation. So, what we can't do is say over-sexualization is just now a problem, because we had, going all the way back, we done had our Lola Falanas, we done had our Eartha Kitts, I can't think of the sister's name. Let me Google it right quick. Played Uhura on Star Trek. The actress's name. Nichelle Nichols. We done had our Pam Greers. We done had all these sex symbols in the culture. Miss R.I.P. Miss Diane Carroll. So it's been a slow build-up to this point. So that's first and foremost. It's been building up to this point, and now it's here, and now it's acceptable. So the thing about hip hop is it's a very diverse. It's literally a genre for everybody. Because back in the day, you had to be, proficient in the craft. You had to be able to spit. You either had to be able to go off the top. You was off the top person, spit without writing down, or you had to be lethal with that pen. You had to be able to craft with that pen. And now everything seems to go, all that's gone out the wayside, because now if you're a female and you want to be a rapper, all you have to be really good at is twerking. That's all you really got to be good at is twerking and having the willingness to degrade yourself in public, wearing certain ensembles outside the house so that you're basically gallivanting your nudity in public. And again, I'm not picking on just female artists, sisters in hip hop, because I see the parallel for like, it's all right for the Kardashians to do it. It's all right for I can't think of anybody from. I ain't trying to be racist, like right off the top. Hot white chicks, but I get it. It's all right for them to be expose themselves and nobody bats an eyelash. But when the sister wants to explore or discuss her sexuality, she's a whore automatically, off rip. She's a whore on all sides. Within our community, from our brothers. Within our community from other sisters. But it's definitely a problem, and it's definitely, we need our voice. And I would just say right now, use your voice constructively. So if you're going to call it out, be solution based with your beef. Be solution based with your beef. Because they deserve a shot. They've been given a shot to be an incredible artist. Be the voice to teach them not to misuse their opportunity that they've been given. To, really make a run of the next 4 or 5 years of their life. Because the typical artist, they only got about a 4 or 5 year run in hip hop. Like 2 or 3 now in the digital streaming area. Now you get the bag and all, the weed out process. Because some of them, a lot of it is persona too. A lot of it is persona, So we're not going to act like there's not personas in hip hop. And you got to separate the person from their persona. Like everybody then, their stage name is their persona. That's not them as a person. So a lot of these sisters, I know for a fact, is putting on an act. I know they know they're dead ass wrong leaving the house in that outfit. I know they know they're dead ass wrong when they're going on these radio shows, these talk shows and other podcasts, talking explicitly about their body parts. I like to get my licked and my licked. You know what I mean? So I do know there's a level of intelligence because they keep on parlaying these bags. So they're doing something right. But it's misguided intelligence because they're allowing the powers that be to control them like puppets. So to my brother, I would have to disagree. I don't think Cardi B is an industry plant. I think she's a sister who had the intelligence to know she couldn't strip for the rest of her life because she was a stripper. She probably did some back page work too. And she got stories. She could probably really embarrass some people in the industry right now. From her stripper days, from her back page days. But like I said, it's a way you correct somebody. You got to come correct to correct the next generation. And so pointing the finger and wagging, and it's your fault, hip hop is this way, it's your fault that to pin it all on one person when it was a slow build up and now we're at this point, that's not right. So just like a few weeks ago, like a week ago to be specific, now the brother already done had, clarified his point with some other fellow recording artists, special ed. I know, damn why I keep on bringing it up. But it's interconnected because it's the culture of hip hop, so you can't not talk about it. In his interview, it seemed like he was singling out NWA as a group for promoting the degeneracy within hip hop, when the degeneracy in reality was already prevalent and already been there, and artists was already benefiting from it in the 80s. They just wasn't blatantly saying it. They wasn't saying it as blatantly as NWA, but they was like real slick with it. They was doing it, they was leaving the trail of breadcrumbs, talking about, bedroom activities, drug activities, like legit. Like they legit had a song in the early 80s called The Crackhead. Your mama was a crackhead. And other songs like talking about sexuality and having degenerate forms of relations. But, it's our time as a people to bind together and think of some constructive ways to end this stank hole culture. This I don't care. I'm gonna do it if I want to give a guy fellatio out in public. I'm gonna give him fellatio out in public, and I don't care who's watching. It's my body. If I want to buy a skirt, two sizes too small, and walk around flashing my vajayjay to the world, I'ma do it. Like, we got to end that collect as a people and constructively, and to where the people violating can actually receive enlightenment. And so it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is we need an intervention rather than a witch hunt and constantly keep on bashing these sisters. Set up a way to give them some constructive criticism where they can take it with a grain of salt. Because when you use your platforms, when you make your podcasts, or do like Brother Ye did, get on, irresponsibly get on Instagram and be like, oh, she's an industry plant. She's causing the degradation of hip hop. Just exclusively her, when everybody's doing it. When damn near all the female artists is doing it. You can't just say exclusively just Cardi B. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say, but when you make generalized statements, that's when you set yourself up to get a finger pointed back at you. So, real quick example, very quick example. I just thought of it, it just came to me just right off the top of the dome to kind of frame my point up, what I'm trying to say. Okay, a few years ago, there seemed to be a trend in hip hop. And this is what I mean, taking a constructive approach to ending something foul in hip hop. Seemed to be a trend in hip hop where all the men in hip hop was being feminized. And first of the fray was a very young Jaden Smith, then A$AP Rocky, then Brother Ye. They was all like wearing dresses. They was all wearing dresses. So hip hop alumni, OG, member of, the early 90s hip hop group, Brand Nubians, Lord Jamar, he put on his Instagram dresses, and he made it a broad, loose term. He didn't go to Ye's page under, the picture. He didn't post a picture of Ye in the dress. He just said, just in a generalized statement, dresses have no place in hip hop. And it resonated. People, men in hip hop, stop wearing dresses. You see? You see what I'm saying? So we have to be proactive like that. We have to have solution-based critique. We can't just be critiquing from a place of no love. Because we want these sisters to get their money. We want these sisters to start their own businesses and to platform off of this opportunity that they've been given. But what we don't want is the misrepresentation, the degradation of the original woman. We don't want the worldwide perception of our women being amoral, easy, sexually easy, or, just being foul. Like, she's not going to mess with a guy if he don't got no money. Or I'm going to take his money. I'm going to find a way to steal his money, set him up, and get him robbed. Because that's what we do. We set these trick-ass niggas up. Pardon my language. I try not to curse on my platform, but sometimes to illustrate a point. And I didn't know a non-curse word illustrate the point. But, yeah. So we need like the Latifahs, we need the Moni Loves, we need the Lights, we need everybody, like all the alumni sisters, to have a quiet behind us, pull them off to the side, have a progressive conversation about the way they're utilizing their platform. We need like a panel to where they can like openly express, look you in the face like a woman, you know what I mean? And you can be like, sis, that ain't it. That ain't it right there. Because that's not the look. Like if you want to, like I always say, I'm a big context guy, in the correct context. So if you are a stripper and you're promoting your nudity on a strip club website, that's the proper context. If you are an adult film starlet and you're on the pornographic website, the movie website of the film that you appeared in for promotion, using your nudity for promotional use, that's the proper context. If you are an Instagram model and do a little back paging on the side, or a cam model, that's the proper context to put your, explicit nudity out. But if you are a female recording artist, specifically a female rapper, it shouldn't just be stock that you have to get on the mic talking about your vagina. Every public appearance you make, you're about to burst out of your outfit because it don't fit right. Like your boobs is about to pop out. You ain't got no underwear on. that got to go. That image got to go. Because what I'm is setting it up for our young sisters to looking up to that 14 impressionable, 12, 13, 14, they looking up to that image, thinking that's the way they have to be to maneuver in life. So they can sit up there, create a fake account, finesse a grown-ass man, bait him in, give him a little dirty, naked selfie pics, and getting him to cash app her red bottoms and fast food. And, she thinking she doing something based on these frames of reference that she's given about how she's supposed to conduct herself as a woman. Because what they're not telling her, that image, that lifestyle burns out real quick. Because when you get like in your 30s, all those tummy tucks, all those BBLs, all those breast surgeries, after a while, you just start looking like a human Barbie doll, like a mutilated Barbie doll at that, after you done had so many surgeries. That's what they're not telling the young sisters looking up. And then on the young man side, the gangster image, the gun toting, drugs all in the background, table full of drugs, toting guns, talking about this case and that case, and that don't make you official. Like having to check in with your PO at 50 years old, that ain't cool. That ain't cool, bruh. Have to leave the house with the burner, like, you matching up burners like Marlon Wayans' character was matching up in Don't Be a Menace, like matching up burners with his outfit. Like, and that's a necessity. You have to have one to leave the house. That ain't the Wade King. But anyway, this image, that image, it gotta, like, we have to do something to, change that, tone it down, set the tone, set the precedent. Like, there's other avenues to go down. Like, this needs to, it needs to, lose its momentum now, because it's becoming dangerous. Because what's going to happen is young girls, our sisters, is going to start getting abducted by sex traffickers because they're sitting up there growing up quicker than they have to and get snatched up by a grown man because they're sitting online playing with grown men, trying to be the image that they think is hot and sexy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we got to nip that in the bud. Now, I get why some women dress like that, act like that, and talk like that. And that's a preference. That's a life preference. But it's not a preference if you're being programmed and conditioned into doing it. And you're being programmed and conditioned into acting like that by the powers that be because they're normalizing it, and it's degenerate behavior. It's not stand-up behavior for a woman. Any woman. Not just our sisters, any woman, period, that ain't stand-up behavior. To carry and conduct yourself like that 24/7. It's all right to conduct yourself for the person that you're with, that you got eyes for, and in a private space. If you're in the bedroom, if it's just y'all two sharing an intimate space, having consensual dialogue, if it's just between you and that one person that you're trying to be with, but not for the entire world to see it, have a window into your fetishes and turn-ons and all that. So we got to pump the brakes on that. And there's a constructive way to do it. And we just got to think as a people, as a tribe, to change the narrative, to change this conversation about this topic. Also for the brothers too, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm just focusing on the sister because at this moment, it's with the sisters that's going viral. It's the sisters that's, you know, being targeted as, you know, sleaze material, like coming out of our community. Degeneracy, that was the word I was looking for. And again, once again, I'm not picking on any of the sisters. I'm not familiar with a whole lot of their rap styles. So I don't know if they even really like get busy like that. I only know them from the images circulating on the internet. What I'm seeing on the internet, every single public sighting of them, they're like popping out their clothes, talking about something super sexual. Like, and I know there's a lot of intellect behind that. Now, Cardi B, she has her moments, and she was getting a whole lot of views for speaking politically, you know, asking, like being blunt about taxes, talking about stuff, you know, them putting stuff in the food. So with her, like, it ain't all been, you know, it ain't all been raunchiness, because now, I think a while ago, she was just voicing a children's character, Sharky or something like that. So, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, more flies with honey. And I think that was my speaking point this weekend. You attract more flies with honey. So, like, approach them sisters in a manner in which they can digest it from you. What you're saying about their image and their presence online. If you really feel, you know, they need to tone it down and they have something interesting to say, but their message is getting diluted through, you know, their appearance. It's like I can't even hear you because I'm looking at your boobs. I can't hear you because, like, I'm in between your legs because you put it in my face. Not because I'm a pervert, because you put it in my face. But yeah, for this hip hop thing, it's going to take all of us. Whether you're an artist, whether you're a fan, we got to think of more constructive ways to talk about our in-house issues about the culture. And I believe we'll start seeing the change that we want to see, rather than sitting up there doing these memes and, you know, calling this female a whore or a slut, calling this dude a trifling bastard. So, you know, it's a teachable moment for all of us as an entire community is what I'm saying. So we got the assignment. Let's go to work. We got the assignment. We understand it. Let's make it happen. We can do it. make some phone calls, do what you need to do. You know what you need to do. But one thing we gotta do is stop this. Like, we gotta cut the serpent's head off. Because it's not really even them, it's these, faceless corporations that's funding them. It's giving them the incentive to want to do that. So we gotta be strategic with it. Well, that's it and that's all. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Narrative Podcast. Do me the hugest favor. Remember to download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Join me this weekend for a full edition of the Narrative Podcast. Tune in to me regular. Tune into the Narrative Podcast on a regular basis, wherever you get your podcast from, because I kind of tend to go live randomly throughout the weekday. The best way to avoid doing that is to follow me on YouTube. I'm Halsey Allen on YouTube. So just hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification, notify all, and you will never miss me when I'm live, because this platform that I'm on broadcasts directly to my YouTube. It also broadcasts directly to X, formerly Twitter. So follow me on Twitter or X or whatever it's supposed to be called now. I'm Halsey Allen on that. And so, follow me on YouTube or Twitter, and you will never miss me when I'm live. You'll get that notification. What else I got going on? I've written a book of poetry titled The Black Card. Currently, it's only available on one medium. It's inside the virtual bookstore on poetizer.com. So what you want to go do is look for it in the virtual bookstore at poetizer.com. And the name of my book is titled The Black Card. The Black Card is a nice short 30-page read. It's really witty, insightful. Collection of poetry that captures our entire experience as original people. So it's basically like a survival guide, a look, an insight into our people and our culture, everything we experience as a people, everything that happens within our culture. It's really unique. I believe it's the first of its kind. Do yourself the hugest favor. Go cop that today inside the virtual bookstore on poetizer.com. And the title of the book again is titled The Black Card, written by me, Halsey Allen. It'll make a great coffee table read, travel book. Read it if you got a bathtub, in the bathtub, on the beach. But just go get it. You'll enjoy it. And the title of the book again is The Black Card. Copy your copy of The Black Card today, or get your black card revoked. All right, and also I write poetry. I got my own personal poetry blog on blogger.com, and it's titled Hallziespoetrycorner. Poetry Corner, and I would appreciate it if you support that. The link is www.mrhallziesblogs.com, and you support it by sharing either the link or a poem featured on Hallzies Poetry Corner on all platforms. So, the link or a poem that you like that I've written on Hallzies Poetry Corner, post it on all platforms, on your Facebook, on your Twitter, your Tumblr, whatever platform that you're active on. Now, for the visual platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, or what's the other one? Where they're looking at your face, anything, you probably want to just to support it, shout out Hallzies Poetry Corner for the visual platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and all that. But I don't believe it would be in the violation of any platforms, but just support it. The link or a poem from Hallzies Poetry Corner on all platforms, and the link again is www.mrhallziesblogs.com, and the tagline is Hallzies Poetry Corner, poetry with a passion, poetry for all occasions. So I'm out of here like last year. I'll see you this weekend with a full episode of the Narrator podcast. I'm Hallzie Allen, and I'm using my platform to change the narrative one episode at a time. I'm now recruiting you to become a narrator and help me in my quest. And you can change the narrative one social media post at a time. Till next time, Hallzie Allen and the Narrator podcast signing off. And it's like that.
Listening to the Narrative Podcast with Hallzie Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.